questions at the end if you want. All right. Trolls. Even I beat them every now and then. You got it. You can't help it. But when you try to act superior on the internet, most of the time, you don't seem superior, you just kind of seem like a jerk. Okay? The size of your post count does not equal the size of your penis. It's just not how it is. And sometimes if you're going to smack down a troll, it is an art form, and it is subtle. But you know what? Trolls take themselves out. You don't have to do it for them. They'll take themselves out. By the way, forums are no place to ask for a job. Don't do it. You might want to ask, who do I ask to find a job? But I've seen people on the G4 forums going, oh, G4 should hire me to do this. And we're like, no. Not if you're on forums. It's still creepy. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about reaching out to a company. What if you can't go to a convention? What if the company that you want to talk to isn't here? How do you get in touch with someone like that? And I know Funimation isn't here, because I asked them. So what if you want to get in touch with someone at Funimation? Sorry, I'm getting really sick. All right, so where do you start? Oh boy, it's scary. And it's not easy. But you know what? I've done it, so I'm going to share my experiences with you and teach you guys how to reach out and talk to these people at companies. So the first place to start, as I said earlier, is public relations. Their job is to talk to you. Okay, so how do you get in touch with them? You ever notice on the websites, they have a little link at the bottom that says contact us. See those? And you click it, and you write them this nice email, and you're all excited to hear back from them. They're like, we'll try to respond to you within the first 24 hours, and they never get back to you. Because for some strange reason, all websites have this, nobody actually checks them. So here's the trick. What you want to do is you want to look for a press release. Whether it's a press section on the website, or it's posted on the news somewhere, just look up the company name and press release. And find the most recent press release possible. Because at the bottom, all press releases, it'll say something like, for more information, contact this person at this email address and this phone number, and voila, you have contact information. And if they're not exactly the person who you need to talk to, you very politely ask them, who could I get in touch with? Or could you please put me in touch with the appropriate person? Be polite, be humble, it'll work. Okay? Now, let's say you want to do an interview with a celebrity or someone in the company, or maybe you want to review anime or manga for your blog and you want to get review copies. Now, you can get review copies for free if you are a legitimate source. You can't just go up and ask someone, hey, can I have some free anime? No. Well, why do you want this? Well, if you say, well, I'm reviewing it for a website, they'll say, okay, let me see your website. Are you legit? Are you real press? And the last time I gave this lecture at Anime Expo, Jackie Smith from Funimation came up to me, and she told me that people have actually pretended to be the press in order to interview people. That is creepy. It is so beyond creepy. And you know what? We can spot you a mile away. We can tell who the fanboys are versus the professionals, okay? Professional first, fan second. Keep it in check. But that's the kind of thing that will get you blacklisted instantly. Like, you never want to work in this industry again? Do something like that. Pretend you're press. Okay. Is anybody here actually interested in working in the anime industry? You're finding a job? Like, wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. It's always great to work with the industry that we love. So when you're finding a job, this can be one of the most difficult, scary things, especially now. And the best advice that I can give anyone, especially if you're still in school, is start doing internships. You don't necessarily have to intern at an anime company, but internships give you legitimate experience. It is something that you can put on a resume. And it's a way to meet people in the industry. Because getting that first job, getting your foot in the door, that's the hardest thing in the world. So I highly, highly recommend internships. Finding that first job, sometimes, most companies, they don't have job postings on their websites. So maybe you can contact a PR person and be like, hey, can you tell me where you guys post jobs? There's a lot of entertainment industry websites out there for job hunting. There's entertainmentcareers.net, there's Mashable, it's a good spot for it, Media Bistro. Don't ever sign up with a company that's like, hey, give us $100 and then we'll let you look at our job listings. It's fake, it's not real, it's not worth your time. Nobody should ever be charging you to find a job. It's just ridiculous. Okay, now, I used to do a thing about pitching, but I realize it's not so much my thing because I've never really pitched an idea to someone. But there is a really important thing about pitching and protecting your ideas that you need to know. Because a lot of us here, we're creative types. We have a story or we have an idea. I'm writing my own manga right now, and I don't talk about it. There's very, very few details about it that are out right now. There's a reason for this. Because I don't want to get my ideas stolen. And when you put your ideas out there on a forum, you might be like, hey Biz, I have a great idea for a manga, and you write this whole big post about what it is. Or maybe you send them a letter and say, hey, I have an idea for a manga, here it is. Or even worse, you send them a manuscript. They're never going to look at it. And it's nothing personal. Don't take it personally. They're not going to look at it, and they're going to say the phrase, we do not accept unsolicited materials. And this is something I learned when I was about 13, and I tried to publish a book, and I had no idea what I was doing. What this means is that unless you have permission to send these creative materials to them, they're not going to look at it because they can potentially steal it from you. And if they steal it from you, and you prove that you wrote it, you can sue them for lots of money, and nobody wants to do that. People lose a lot of money in copyright laws. So protect your ideas. Always ask permission first before you pitch anything. Plus, it's just more professional. That's what we're talking about today, professionalism. All right, and finally, there's two concepts that you guys need to understand. It's called discretion and disclosure. Now, discretion, it's kind of like using the phrase, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. You ever notice, like, when you're on the forums, that you express your opinion or have ideas, and like I said, professionals, we don't say anything. It almost sounds like you're getting ignored. It's not that you're getting ignored. It's just that if we don't like your idea, we're not going to come out and say it. We're not going to know your idea sucks. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because it's rude and it's unprofessional, and it's not good. And the disclosure, the other idea, that is not sharing information that's not supposed to be public yet. Now, people might say, okay, well, when is this anime coming out, or when's that manga coming out? Well, when we know, we'll tell you. We don't know yet, and you're not privy to that advanced information. It's non-disclosure. It's not for you to know. And sometimes it is better to just not say anything than to risk your job. So it's not that you're being ignored, it's not that we don't like you. We're just covering our own butts because it's not worth losing our job to give you guys information. Alright. I'm going to sip water and then we'll talk about celebrities. This is my favorite topic. Alright. I've met a bunch of celebrities, mostly this last year, both in the anime industry and in the television industry. And most of the time, they're all human beings. Except maybe Taliesin Jaffe. I don't know if you guys know him. You must know. I'm not 100% sure about this guy yet. But my point is that they all have their own personal lives. They all have things to do outside of the anime industry. So how can you be an effective fan and talk to a celebrity? Well, there's a couple things you need to do. The first thing is play cool. Don't get too excited, just play cool. So I'm wondering, is anyone here really shy? Yeah, really shy? You, come here. Come on up here. Come. You're gonna help me demonstrate it. So what's your name?
Solo.
Solo? Alright, Solo. So we're going to do a little bit of role playing. So you're going to be, let's say Solo is a huge, popular voice actor, super famous. And I'm a fan of his, I'm a big fan of his. So, and I'm seeing him for the very first time. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say the same phrase in two different ways. Okay, now watch it. Oh my god, Solo's such a huge fan of yours! How did that make you feel? Yeah, kind of weird, like maybe I don't have any self-control.